Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the September 25th, 2024 Pittsburgh Board of Public Education and Pittsburgh Mount Oliver Intermediate Legislative Meeting. Would everyone please rise so that we can salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we will begin tonight's meeting with the Pittsburgh Mount Oliver Intermediate Unit. Mr. Weiss, can we please have a roll call?
Barker.
Present.
Petrowski. Petrowski is absent. Dr. Reed.
Here.
Ms. Silk.
Here.
Ms. Talaferro.
Here.
Mr. Dean.
Present.
Ms. Wilson.
Here.
Ms. Yord. Ms. Yord is absent. Mr. Walker.
Here.
7 board members present.
Thank you. Will board members please turn to the minutes from the August 28th, 2024 meeting? Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions? Seeing none, I'd like to have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the August 28th, 2024 legislative meeting for the Pittsburgh Mount Oliver Intermediate Unit.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson and Mr. Barker. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes stand approved. The committee report on business and finance includes agenda items 24.01 through 26.08. Are there any questions or comments on this report? Seeing none, do I have a motion and a second for a roll call vote?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Talaferro and Mr. Barker. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote?
Barker.
Yes.
Dr. Reed.
Yes.
Ms. Silk.
Yes.
Talaferro.
Yes.
Mr. Dean.
Yes.
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Report's approved, 7 yes.
Thank you, Mr. Weiss. Item 27.01 is the Pittsburgh Mount Oliver Intermediate Unit Personnel Report for September 2024. Are there any questions or comments on this report? All right, seeing no further questions or comments, can I have a motion and a second for a roll call vote?
So moved. Second.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson and Ms. Talaferro. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote?
Barker.
Yes.
Dr. Reed.
Yes.
Ms. Silk.
Yes.
Talaferro.
Yes.
Mr. Dean.
Yes.
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Approved, 7 yes.
Thank you. Item 28.01 is the Pittsburgh Mount Oliver Intermediate Unit Financial and Travel Report for August 2024. Are there any questions or comments on this report? All right, if there are no further comments or questions, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. A motion and a second to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Barker and Ms. Talaferro. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting stands adjourned. Thank you all very much. Now I would like to call to order the September 25th, 2024 meeting of the Pittsburgh Public Schools to order. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the roll?
Barker.
Present.
Ms. Petrowski. Johnson is absent. Dr. Reed,
Here.
Salafaro,
Here.
Ms. Silk,
Here.
Mr. Dean,
Present.
Ms. Wilson,
Here.
George is absent. Mr. Walker,
Here.
7 present.
Thank you. Now will the board please turn to the minutes. Today we'll be approving the minutes for the August 28th, 2024 legislative session. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions? Seeing none, can I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Talafaro and Mr. Barker. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes stand approved. At this time, I would like to read the executive session statement. In addition to the executive sessions announced at the legislative meeting of August 28th, 2024, the board met in executive session on September 18th and immediately prior to this legislative session to discuss various personnel matters that may include but are not limited to administrative vacancies and positions opened and closed. The board does not vote at executive session. The committee report on education is before you, submitted by Dr. Tracy Reed, chairperson, and the committee. The report includes agenda items 5.01 through 8.18. If you would please turn to agenda item 8.18, I'd like to give you the student expulsion numbers for this month. Students expelled out of school for 11 days or more, there were 3 this month. Under the education section, there were no items noted for further discussion at agenda review. Are there any questions or comments at this time from the board? Seeing none, can I have a motion and a second for a roll call vote on the committee report on education?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Talafaro and Ms. Wilson. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote on the committee report on education?
Barker,
Yes.
Dr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Silk,
Yes.
Salafaro,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you. The committee report on business and finance is before you, submitted by Ms. Emma Yord, chairperson in the committee. The report includes agenda items 9.01 through 12.17. There were no items noted for further discussion on the business section at agenda review. Are there any questions or comments at this time that were not answered at agenda review? Seeing no further questions, can I have a motion and a second for a roll call vote on the committee report on business and finance?
So move.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Barker and Ms. Talafaro. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote on the committee report on business and finance?
Barker,
Yes.
Dr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Silk,
Yes.
Salafaro,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Item approved, 7 yes.
Thank you. We will now move on to the Human Resources Report. This includes items, this is item 13.01, including addendums A and B submitted by Ms. Sylvia Wilson, chairperson, and her committee. And before we move any further, I will turn this over to Dr. Walters for a couple of announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Dear Board of Directors, it is with great sadness that I write to inform you of the death of Jerry Hazlett, teacher, activities director at Alderdice High School on July 24th, 2024. Mr. Hazlitt was loved by the entire school district, city of Pittsburgh, and all of Allegheny County, and was a longtime Pittsburgh Public Schools teacher and coach with more than 23 years of service. Mr. Hazlitt joined the Pittsburgh Public Schools in 2001 as a teacher at Pittsburgh Perry Traditional Academy. Jerry Hazlitt was a stalwart presence at Pittsburgh Allderdice since joining the school as a business teacher in 2007 from Oliver High School. In the 2009 season, he took over as the school's head football coach and led the team to win its first City League championship title in 50 years in 2017. The team went on to win the City League championship again in 2018 and 2021. Coach Hazlitt was known for his hard work, quick wit, and heart of gold. He always put students first and developed long-lasting relationships with students and peers. His impact stretched far beyond their time in high school, with many joining him as peers and assistant coaches on the football team. Jerry had many talents, serving as the school's activities and athletic director. He planned homecoming dances and football plays, always doing what it took to make things special for students. Mr. Hazlitt leaves a lasting mark on our hearts and minds, and his memory will live on through the students he served. He was such a powerful presence and truly a force to be reckoned with. Jerry stood out in a crowd with his loud, genuine, infectious laugh and with the speech and verbiage that he used. With his mischievous grin and playful nature, it is so easy to see why people were drawn to Jerry. Jerry did not care if you were the school superintendent or the school groundskeeper. He treated all as equal. His memory will forever live on as his encouragement and discipline helped transform so many students into confident leaders through his belief that with teamwork and the right attitude, anything is possible. We are forever thankful for Jerry's contributions to the physical and mental well-being of thousands of students throughout Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Public Schools District. Mr. Hazlitt was the son of the late Ira and Charlene Hazlitt. He's survived by his wife, Sherry Hazlitt, his twin sister, Judy, and her husband, Tom Haley, his brothers, Jim and his wife, Beth, Bob, Dave, and his wife, Mary, John and his wife, Chris, children, Michael, grandchild, Caberin, Jamie, grandchild, Jaden. He is loved greatly by his nieces and nephews and a host of aunts, uncles, cousins, extended family, co-workers, students, and friends. We will greatly miss our outstanding teacher, athletic coach, friend, and co-worker. Respectfully submitted, Wayne N. Walters, Superintendent of Schools. Dear Board of Directors, it is with great sadness that I write to inform you of the death of Mara Klein, classroom assistant, autistic support at Carmalt K-8 on September 18, 2024. Ms. Klein was a loving, dedicated paraprofessional who touched the lives of many. Whether it was in or out of the classroom, she had a positive impact on her colleagues, students, and teachers alike. Her kind spirit, sense of calm that she offered, and her dedication to preserving the environment served as an inspiration to all who knew her. Ms. Klein was employed with the Pittsburgh Public Schools in 2020, and her memory will last forever. We are thankful for the contributions and service that Mara showed to the students and staff throughout the Pittsburgh Public Schools District. Ms. Klein is survived by her beloved son, Micah, her sister, Melissa, Caitlin, her parents, Martha and Michael, and former husband, business partner, Joe Veltri. We will greatly miss our outstanding classroom assistant, friend, and coworker. Respectfully submitted, Wayne N. Walters, Superintendent of Schools. That ends my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Walters. PPS is truly going to miss both of these amazing people. Now we have to get back to business after that. That is always a rough transition. Sorry about that. Right. So the Human Resources Report is before you today. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing no questions or comments, can I have a a motion and a second for a vote on the Human Resources Report.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson and Mr. Barker. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote?
Barker,
Yes.
Dr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Stokes,
Yes.
Alfaro,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Report's approved, 7 yes.
Thank you, Mr. Weiss. Item 15.01 is the 2024 General Fund Budget Board Transfer for Curriculum and Instruction. Are there any questions or comments on this item? Seeing no further questions or comments, can I have a motion and a second for a roll call vote on item 15.01?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson and Ms. Talafaro. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote?
Barker,
Yes.
Dr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Stokes,
Yes.
Alfaro,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Approved, 7 yes.
Thank you. I'd like to call the board's attention to item 16.01, the financial statements, and 16.02, the controller's report for the month ending August 31, 2024. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, we will now move on to item 16.03, the EBE report. Are there any questions or comments on this report? All right. We'll move on to item 17.01. This is a new business item, a resolution for retention of counsel for litigation against Eli Lilly for the overpricing of insulin purchases by the district in the healthcare plans. Are there any questions or comments on this item? Seeing no questions or comments, can I have a motion and a second for new business item 17.01?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Talafaro and Mr. Barker. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote on 17.01?
Barker,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Stokes,
Yes.
Alfaro,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Approved, 7 yes.
Thank you. Item 17.02 is a new business item, Family Links, Inc., for a to-be-determined number of technicians to provide teletherapy support. Are there any questions or comments on this item? Is there a determined number of?
Yes, the item's been updated to 3.
3, wonderful, thank you. All right, I will do that again. So item 17.02 is a new business item, Family Links Inc., for 3 technicians to provide teletherapy support. Are there any questions or comments at this time? Seeing none, can I have a motion and a second to call a vote on item 17.02?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Talafaro and Ms. Wilson. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote?
Barker,
Yes.
Dr. Reed,
Yes.
Stokes,
Yes.
Alfaro,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you, Mr. Weiss. Item 17.03 is a new business item. This is the Health and Education Alliance Are there any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, can I have a motion and a second to approve new business item 17.03?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Talaferro and Ms. Wilson. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote?
Parker,
Yes.
Dr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Stokes,
Yes.
Alfaro,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you. And then our last item tonight is item 17.04, which is also a new business item, an amendment to the All Lines technology. Are there any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, can I have a motion and a second for a vote on business item 17.04?
So move.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Barker and Ms. Talaferro. Mr. Weiss, can you please call the vote?
Parker,
Yes.
Dr. Reed,
Yes.
Ms. Stokes,
Yes.
Alfaro,
Yes.
Mr. Dean,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you, Mr. Weiss. That concludes our formal business for the night. Are there any announcements from board members that do not require a legislative vote? Announcements, yes, sir.
I just want to give a shout out to Erica Gandy for the Parent University. It was well attended by our amazing parents and heavily supported by a lot of folk at the tables to provide the services. So it was really amazing. Duquesne was very hospitable, and yeah, I can't wait till next year.
It's a quiet night tonight. I know. Type 2.1 is I want to send the board's congratulations to Director Yord and her husband on the birth of their first child. All reports are everyone is happy and healthy, but very tired. And so we look forward to having Ms. Yord back just as soon as she is ready. And then the second, I just wanted to take a minute to both recognize and thank Chief Young for her selfless and brave actions during last week's incident at Carmelt K-8. While it turned out the claims were unsubstantiated, she didn't know that at the time and was the first responder to enter that building anyway. We often talk about safety of our students, but rarely think about what it actually means when something like this happens, because it's been rare in our school district. Chief Young, without any means of actually protecting herself or the children that she's charged with protecting, went into the school ready to confront the reported intruder. For that, she should be commended, but we should also be thoughtful about the fact that we allowed her to enter that situation without proper protection. So I say all that to say thank you to Chief Young for her continued service of our district and our kids. I know that many of us are not ready to have the conversation around arming our school police, but the events like what happened at Carmelt are happening more often, not just in Pittsburgh, around the city. And I think that a serious conversation needs to happen with this board to ensure that our first responders, especially our school police, are equipped and prepared to actually do their jobs and do it effectively. All right, if there are no other announcements, I will entertain a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Talaferro and Mr. Barker. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This meeting stands adjourned.